Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody? Hope everybody is having a great day today on this beautiful Wednesday, Thursday. Fucking Thursday now. Let's go back to here. Let's do this. Yoop. trying to take apart my little bottle here, but I have to push these tabs in, so I have to get some sort of. Well, we got this one. Much better, much better. I wonder if my heart rate will work. I don't see any app updates. Maybe I'll just update everything. Maybe there's something connectivity wise. We got device policy, Google Home, Google.
I think it's in marathon the most important thing to do right after the World Championship.
This looks cool. Looks
race
like a
are
gravel
full
race.
The lessons are here about managing your bad spots and then
That's
not
cool.
getting too carried away when you're having a good moment, because you're going to be humbled again at some point.
All we can control is the now, how we race, where we end up, and I would say that's more than enough to think about.
Every year cards are freshly shuffled and you don't know really how good the other teams are.
You can be the strongest team on paper and actually you don't win the race, or vice versa.
Everything you've done up until this point now must continue. You are here, you have done all of the work.
It became like the Tour de France of mountain biking.
Marco Jabir, here we go, stage 4, time to dance one more time here around the Tal Monument. This could be your day.
Yeah, well, look forward to
Janina, good morning. Tell us, Rosa, hot yesterday.
Welcome to Fairview Wine and Cheese Farm and the Race Village. Once again, preparing for a monumental stage. It is stage 4, day 5 of the 2025 APSA Cape Epic. We're halfway through this incredible untamed African mountain bike race, the journey to Lawrenceford Wine Estate on Sunday. 750 teams began with a 26 kilometer
still not working. So looks
Sunday.
like we're gonna have to
62 kilometers are under the belt. We're not even halfway in terms of distance, but certainly those riders are feeling the effects of some brutal days on the bike. Good morning and welcome to it. Good morning to Benno Willett. How are you feeling after 4 days?
I'm feeling very well, I must say. So much excitement happening out there. Another great stage ahead of us. We most likely had the hottest stage yesterday. Everyone made it through, and today another spectacular stage in front of us with lots and lots of single track to come.
Really looking forward to the racing today. Now, just a notice about what happened yesterday. Extreme heat did see the race stopped at 2:36 in the afternoon, and as a result, riders who passed water point 3 but did not finish received an additional 80 minutes to their water point 3 time and could proceed to the finish. Riders who got to Ridgeback but with no further splits received an additional 3.5 hours to their Ridgeback time, the time they reached that point. And then they could continue today. And those who withdrew before that time, in other words, of their own volition, they are now out of the race, the official race. So brutal stage 3. Some numerous riders pulling out as a result of those conditions. But at the sharp end of the race, the racing is white hot because there's just 43 seconds between the top 2 teams in this race. The superb Scott Stram MTB Racing pair of Nino Schurter and Filippo Colombo, and yesterday's stage winners Willia Vittoria, Luca Braido and Simone Avadetto. Just 43 seconds separating those 2 teams as they head out on today's stage. 80 kilometers. It's going to be fast and furious with, as Benno has said, a single track laden day, as it was yesterday as they explore more and more of these Paarl trails, Hero Legacy trails around the Drakenstein municipality on a day that is likely to be a lot less hot than it was yesterday. More forgiving today. By all accounts, it certainly won't be, I think, getting into those mid-40-degree temperatures today. So 30 seconds to the start of our elite men. Schurter and Colombo defending those yellow jerseys. Alongside them in the red, what a day they had on stage 3. Marco Hubert and Tristan Norkier, the Absa African jersey wearers, in 3rd place overall, 9 minutes and 49 seconds down. 10 seconds to the off of stage number 4 here at Fairview. The gun for the start of stage 4 of the 21st Absa Cape Epic, and they power off the line. It's bumpy and grassy, but everyone trying to get traction and get into that corner first. And the red jersey is already quite prominent there. I did notice the Belgian champion.
Look at these guys. These guys are fucking
Dust
serious.
is again a feature today, and it is going to be fast and furious, particularly the first sort of 10 kilometers, Benno.
Yeah, the first 10 kilometers are quite flat, but a lot of single track, a lot of left rides. You want to position yourself in a good spot. Again, everyone is so close together. From the heat yesterday, it's still going to be dusty. It's going to be slippery in those corners. You want to make sure that your partner is nearby. You're not going to lose yourself out of eye. And it's going to be, yeah, from the get-go, you can see like they going off high speed into some flat sections, but then there's a lot of 90-degree corners where you come down, turn left, turn right, and it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be like a elastic band going up and down.
And you want to be, as is where Tristan Norkier and Marco Hubert are here, Wout Alleman and those guys on the front, because those corners come sharply. There's dust, there's sand, there's soft sand. You can get caught up in that, and the next thing you sit, you either sit on your backside or you have stopped dead in that sand. Look at Mark Pritson on the right there trying to make up ground there.
Yeah, you see the loose sand there in the corner or on the side, and it comes up so quickly, especially when you sit in the cloud. You don't know exactly where the best line is. So the farther forward you are, the more you have vision, the more choices you can make. So definitely important to be right there at the front.
So our race village, it is all about recovery after yesterday's day. Yes, the elite men and women started earlier than the amateurs, so they perhaps escaped the real heat of the day, but still it was very, very warm as they all came in here, and they are going at the very highest intensity. So this is how it all unfolds. Schurter and Colombo, 43 seconds. What a race we've got on our hands here. The debutants, Avendetto and Braido from Italy, are making a huge splash here. Already 2 stage wins to their name. What a day for Marco Hubert and Tristan Norkier yesterday. Very nearly won the stage. They had a bold attempt. They came charging through in the last couple of kilometers, but couldn't quite sustain the pace. Poro and Stutzman continue to improve. Clementizia Aubert, they moved up 5 places yesterday after a really good stage. Topado, Singer, Fabian Ravensteiner, Marco and Steve John are going well. And Wout Alleman and Martin Stosek took the King of the Mountains yesterday, the Buff Mega pair. They're getting stronger as well as the week progresses. Very good day for Mark Pritson and Wessel Boerter, the second team in the the race for the red jersey. Moved up 4 places yesterday. Not so good for the Lucas Baumgau-Gega combination. Beer Lead Speed Company lost big time yesterday. 5 places they dropped in the general classification standings, and BH Colombo lost time as well. Matthew Beers and Keegan Swenson, 23 minutes down. Outright Toyota, the biggest losers on yesterday's stage. They dropped 6 places yesterday, and they are in there fighting for survival and perhaps stage wins later on in the race. You cannot think that the 23 minutes can be made up over the next 4 days, but it is a strange old race, this. They are alongside the main artery that runs from Cape Town all the way up to the top of the country at Polokwane. The National Road, the N1, is right alongside them here, and they are heading away from the sun for the time being, and perfect illustration of the conditions they've got there. And as a result, you can see sort of there's a bit of space here. Riders are prepared to give a bit of space because they know how treacherous it can be here.
Yeah, definitely everyone is trying to get to the front here. It's a big pile. Like, can you imagine riding there in like 20 or farther down position that you can't see anything, and then also your lungs, they pick up all this stuff, and it's not going to be good for you. Again, it stretches out. You try to find the fastest line, stay out of trouble, and this is going to be for at least the first 10 kilometers. It's all the same thing.
It is indeed so. We have a look at the second group on the start line. It is the elite amateur men who will be going out there, and the Xaro jerseys on the shoulders of Leandro Jordan and Damon Tablanche. The white jerseys, the leaders in the amateur men. Avelo Racing, Marcus Nicolai and Lucas Kohler. They've got 25 minutes on fellow Germans, Niklas Ranke and Hans-Jürgen Jurczek. So the racing on there, the blue jerseys are in there, our Masters and Grandmaster leaders as well. The Masters leaders are Pavel Gonda and Tobias Luthi. They have a 440 on the Craig Uriah and Charlie McFall. And our Grandmasters leaders, Ibon Zugasti and Kara Argad in those Mulberry jerseys. They're 26 minutes ahead of Rob Sim and Udo Bolts. Racing here is also going to be red hot, as it has been throughout this race. The sharp end of all these categories, really, really competitive, and you wouldn't want it any other way today. You mentioned the dust, Benno, and you've been in the belly of the beast, so to speak, with these teams at the end of days like this. What do the riders do? I mean, is there anything they can do to try and mitigate the effects of having the dust in their lungs?
Yeah, no, it's also part of the recovery. So as soon as they get back to their accommodation, you try to have the nebulizer on your face. It's just like clearing out your nose, your lungs, all of those things. And also just some nose sprays, just some salty water. Sometimes it helps just to get it all out, and you have to do it every single day. Like you cannot underestimate it. And if you start it too late, it's also for infections and all those kind of things. So you really need to do that from the first day onwards to kind of like get the best benefits from it.
So the elite men's batch here, this is one of those turns here, just taken with a degree of caution. Sandy and loose it is. Everyone getting around there safely, and this bunch still all together. And the yellow jerseys are positioned quite far back in that bunch there. The red jerseys are prominent there. The Belgian jerseys there. I think I can see the German champions jersey there. Andreas Servolt, very much. So yeah, I mean, today you could see some of those teams that are way off the pace having a dip at a stage win here. This is getting to that stage of the race where, you know what, we're not going to win the GC, but we're 25-30 minutes down. Let's have a go at winning a stage.
Yeah, definitely. Those teams, they know getting into the GC classification, getting onto the podium there, it's not possible or very rare that you can make up anything more than 10 to 20 minutes. It's you want to go for the stage win. I think in Buko, Marco and Tristan, they got the confirmation yesterday that they actually belong next to Nino or next to Filippo they really know that they have what it takes to give those guys a go. And I do believe that those guys today, they have a good game plan. They know the area very, very well. So I wouldn't be surprised that those guys are going to make it back onto the podium again. Maybe their tactics is a little bit better than yesterday. They got so close to the finish. I mean, 3 kilometers before the finish, they did try to get away. But again, sprinting out on Nina Schurter or Luca Breithout is not an easy target, and definitely not for 3 kilometers. So anyway, they rode so well yesterday. I expect a lot from them today. Nino, Filippo, they're going to keep the bunch in around them. Of course, Luca and Simone, they're the biggest competitors with only 43 seconds behind. So that's nothing. That is like, wrong position in the bunch or a small little mechanical, and that lead is out the window quite quickly. So that's definitely the ones they watch the most. And then, there's the other teams, like you mentioned, the ones that haven't been in front of the race, they haven't been on camera, whatever it is, they want to win. Everyone wants to win a stage here at the Absa Cape Epic. That is, one of the biggest goals for, I would say, almost half of the field here.
Absolutely. You want to get onto the podium at some stage during the week here, make your trip worthwhile. Our Bear Led Speed Company lost big time yesterday. We know that's how they ride. They go all out there. Yeah, I mean, and the efforts of yesterday would have had an effect on all of these riders. So some might be saying, you know what, today 80 Ks, let's just get through today, keep it safe, keep it sound. We've got the Queen stage tomorrow and 2 big stages at Lawrenceford. Plenty of time to chase and defend our GC positions. Talking about defending general classification positions, our Aramex UCI women's group about to depart, and the race leaders in those orange jerseys. The big talking point will be Annika Langfeld, who had a nasty fall. She had one light fall and then really one quite heavy fall on the berm on the top of the mountain there, and how she's recovered here today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she recovered from that yesterday, not just physically, also mentally. Again, we're going into a lot of single tracks, the same stuff as we saw yesterday. She was struggling a little bit with loose front end, wiping out, and it is tricky. It is, again, lots of powder on the trails, lots of single tracks. In the morning, the sun is going to come out. It's a bit more overcast than it was yesterday, but you do have to stay very, very careful out there. And also the other teams, they saw that that's maybe some sections where they can make time. The sprints for the single tracks today will be very, very feisty again. I can see that coming up quite early in the race, and then again the physical part. See how she recovered from that crash.
Yeah, nasty fall on her right side from the top of a berm, and well, she dug deep, and she is incredibly strong and determined, and riding off no problem at the moment with Sofia Gomez-Villafañe, the Toyota Specialized team. They have a 13-minute and 59-second lead over Vera Lossa and Alexis Skada. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Annika Langfeld in a post-stage interview did admit to being rusty. She said it's one of the hardest stages she's had on the Absa Cape Epic, certainly the hardest this year. And she said, yeah, I've not ridden my mountain bike too much over the last 5 years, so I'm getting back into it, and the technical stuff is going to take a while to settle into. They're rolling off now. The big winners yesterday in the women's race, 2 teams, Haley Breen and Bianca Horf, Titan Racing SC Honeycomb, onto the podium yesterday and onto the general classification podium as well. Another fantastic day by this combination of young South Africans. And Topara Kende FSA women, Katarzyna Sosna-Pinele and Claudia Peretti find themselves 39 minutes down. But Lossa and Skada, 14 minutes, give or take a second. And they hung with Langville and Gomez-Villafañe yesterday, perhaps sensing or thinking or hoping that there might be a chink in the armor of the Toyota Specialized team, but it didn't prove that way. And so they are going to have to find other ways of trying to get the better of this pair, and a stage win for them would do an enormous amount for them. Here we go to the men, and they've been going through Landsgrün and Feinland. These are lovely farms in this part of the world. Dry it is. This is the time of year. It is hot and dry in the Western Cape at this time of year. Vrymansfontein is waiting. They've, these are some fallow lands here, but harvest is over in these parts. Oh, yes, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Thick, heavy sand, and your front wheel digs in.
Well, it looks like, who was it? Georg. Georg went off the bike. Yeah, he had to, push through the sand, get back on the bike again, and then it's
spreads it out.
It's spread it out. Yeah, it's so quick. Like, I mean, it's a flat road. You wouldn't think that you're gonna come to a dead end, to a stop here.
Someone stopped down below here,
It's
just
actually
very
mechanical.
quickly.
Yeah, maybe chain came off, something in the drivetrain. But yeah, those are the moments. If you not in the right position and getting back to the front, maybe your partner made it through. He doesn't even know he is in the front group. You in the back there, catching up again to not let them go. It's a lot of effort.
Well, going to the front, as we saw him yesterday, Michael Foster of Pyga Eurosteel, and he's looking over his shoulder, and his teammate Peter de Toy in that familiar style is 2 riders back, just behind the wheel of Tristan Norkier. So the South Africans emboldened by generally a good day yesterday by all the South Africans. I think the only team that didn't have a good day amongst the South Africans were Pyga Eurosteel. So they want to make amends with that. They've got Michael Foster, Peter de Toy, and Philip Bass, who's the man on the left-hand side there, and Jaden Turler. He's looking for Jaden at the moment, and well, best he does, because yesterday he lost him. We saw him on the top of the switchback, waiting for him. Not the situation you want to have at the sharp end of the race so early on.
No, definitely you can see the one South African team does well, the second does well. It creates such a dynamic within the South African teams as well. So everyone wants to get a glimpse from those guys at the front. They really try everything, and they also know they are the locals here. They know the trails very well. They want to give those international people a little bit of a go. And it creates such a cool dynamic, and it's good to see the South Africans team doing so well, being able to compete against the world best international riders here.
Absolutely fantastic. Just looking at the UCI women now and the Aramix women's race. So one team has also made good steady progress up the leaderboard. Biking, because she might not have fallen nearly as hard as Annika Langveld, and yet Annika was able to get up and carry on riding and win the stage. Samara Shepherd, sadly, a fall and just in the wrong position, hits the wrong rock or route, and she's out the race.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of sections you can fall and nothing is going to happen. It's really just the sand or the dust that you hit. But yeah.
And the other thing, if you've injured your ribs, or so you can carry on, you can ride, it's going to be sore. Yeah. You cannot do anything with a broken hand or wrist. You cannot hold your handlebars.
No, it's impossible.
It's
now so rough. Like even this road, like it looks all smooth on TV, but this suspension is going through a lot of bumps and little bumps, and then again the sandy stuff that you have in there. So it's a rough ride. Like it is fast. It looks fast. But it's definitely not a smooth ride.
Well, in fact, I think we can hear from Samara Shepherd, who was chatting to Max Kleur on the start line today.
Yeah, tell us about yesterday. We saw a crash on the district road. What happened on that downhill?
Yeah, it was a bit a stupid crash from me.
I crashed already on stage 2 and I have quite a painful rib. So yesterday I wanted to avoid a jump there and I go left in high speed on this slippery downhill and my front wheel just slipped away.
You 4 stages in, the big 4 stages to come. How are you and Rosa doing? Are you still loving it so much?
Yeah, we try to enjoy. The last 2 days were not so my days. I struggled quite a lot, but we said we need to enjoy it here. It's amazing, and hopefully my body starts working again and we can push a bit.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
That not, of course, Samara Shepherd, Janine Verst, who had a crash, one of many who had a crash yesterday, and she survived, and that's exactly what we're talking about. She hurt her ribs, a bit sore today, but she's able to carry on there. She and Rosa van Doorn held their position in 5th place yesterday. They're in 41 minutes down behind the Toyota Specialized team. So they're growing into the race as debutantes here, feeling their way in and learning how to ride this race, which is key.
It's key, and I think yeah, sometimes you also see that someone having a bad day and then the next day they flying because the body just needs that extra bit of rest from one day to the other. So I have high hopes that those 2 girls find each other again and will find the excitement of it. It's a lot of single tracks. They're very good at that, and then hopefully also find themselves at the front group of this race.
So how are you feeling? You're standing on the start line after 4 days. This is day 5. This batch, this is very high up in the field still. So remember, the last batch will leave at 8:15 South African time. That's in just under an hour, in 55 minutes time. So those riders will be feeling the effects of yesterday's ride, bearing in mind that some of them would have been taken off the course, helped off the course by the race organization, who once they called the race off at 2:36 sent as many vehicles as they could up into the mountains. Benno was one of them to help riders off there. Torrid up there, it was hectic.
It was hectic, but so well organized. Hats off to the organization to make the call, and then how quick everybody got back. Like everyone was safe. Like I had 4 of the guys in my car. I think that was the most dangerous part of the Cape Epic for them, being in the car with me. No, we enjoyed the gravel road coming down, definitely. No, but you could see the guys, of course, you kind of like bummed for not finishing the stage, but at the same time, like we said earlier in the day, safety is the highest priority out of all. Like you need to make sure that everyone is safe, and at some stage you need to make the call. And again, everyone got down safe. The tent in the evening was full of people again, reflecting on what just happened. Of course, some of them, they had like 5-10 liters of water once they got to water, and it was a tough day out there. But yeah, we all know it's the Upside Cape Epic, and
Yep.
they're all back again. They're all back again in the race today. They were all looking forward again, and yeah, yesterday was yesterday. Today's a new stage, and you go in there and you enjoy more and more of those single tracks.
Just gone past the dam there, nicknamed Sandy's Party. Legend has it that a Pile Trails crew were doing some work along there, and they came across 2 tourists who got a bit carried away, and were enjoying the views and having some fun, and so they ran off into the bushes, left some clothes behind, and they were returned to them. Anyway, farmlands it is, all these beautiful farmlands. They have been harvested. So
what up, Clay?
have been used by
Catalyst.
the trucks, the tractors, the buckies
What
that
up, bro?
do their business here.
Even
So
I know
there'll
you're
be
about.
ruts, there'll be loose, sandy areas. There'll be a really hard line, perhaps some of them, and they'll all be fighting to stay on that hard line. So what's the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of these elite men ahead of today's stage as they are going around inside the first 10 kilometers? Let's hear from some of the main protagonists before they started today.
Jabir, here we go, stage 4, time to dance one more time here around the Tall Monument. This could be your day.
Yeah, well, look for opportunity today. But yeah, I think today is also a day to manage yourself again.
As you said, manage yourself. It can get to a stage where there's those split seconds where those decisions are so important. You guys were so good yesterday in watching the moves all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I think staying cool-headed is important in this race. also not looking for the race, but just riding it.
We've got a couple of similar scenarios to yes. Munich said the shorter the stage, the tougher it is.
Yeah, I know it's going to be flat out. I can see there's a couple of teams earlier on the rollers here. Tristan's doing some sprints, so go time.
Let's go, good luck. Nina, we were just having a little laugh here. It's so nice to be a bit cooler, isn't it?
It's not much cooler. It was a hot night. It's already 26 degrees, the car said, so it's going to be hot again, I think so. We have a bit of cloud, but let's see, it's going to be a hot one again.
We're going to the second half of the racing now. 43 seconds, 44 seconds on the GC for you. How important is that first 10 kilometers today?
Yeah, it's a bit of a flat a bit, and I don't know how much trail it will be, so I think it's going to be a bit hectic to find a bit the place, but I don't expect any big things.
It's the home playground of the two South Africans, Marco Jabé and Tristan Orkier. They know these mountains backwards. If today is the day to do something, you probably got to be quite sharp to watch them today on some of the moves.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to follow them. Already yesterday, you could see they know the trails really well, and yeah, if you get a wheel from one of them, it's pretty good. But yeah, they are in the overall almost 10 minutes back, so we are not so afraid about them. We want to make sure, hopefully we can gain a bit of time in the GC, or yeah, let's see.
A message to all the Scott Tram fans out there today?
Yeah, thanks for the great support. It's insane having all the support out here. It's really cool to race, and we enjoy it.
Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Lucas, we go into stage 4. We know the power, we know the dedication, we know the hunger behind Lea Tobia Speed Company. Stage wins on the cards now.
That's a lot of pressure now from you, but yeah, we have to see. I think with the 50 minutes gap we got yesterday to GC, I think it's definitely hard for us to come back. We have to be patient. I think today with a backloaded stage, making a move right from the start or right in the beginning is maybe a bit too risky because everyone is still too fresh. So and experience showed that after 2.5 hours, teams are getting tired, and I think it's worth taking a risk or worth taking a shot on the stage win. If we can, of course, we take it. We take the chance, but yeah, after this stage, we have to decide whether to go for the GC or maybe for a stage win.
We talk about racecraft. We talk about understanding when to go, when to move, how to move. It's difficult when you're racing against cross-country specialists, marathon specialists. You know, you're trying to find your mix. Racecraft it comes from experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of us, I think I can include all of riders here, are racing for years and years and years. And you just get that instinct and that feeling from just racing season after season. And even within the race, you have new competitors around you, but you get an understanding of how they look on the bike. Is it worth attacking now? Do they look tired? So yeah, it's nothing you're born with. I think there's an instinct you're born with, but experience is the key.
Good luck to your guild today. Let's find the magic.
Thank you.
Interesting thoughts there from Lucas Baum and a few others. Nino shirt alike. Nino saying you're not worried about the red jerseys. Their focus is the Italian pair, Luca Braido and Simone Avendetta, and so it should be. 43 seconds is that advantage there, so they'll be keeping a watchful eye on them. Lucas saying maybe after today they'll have to reassess and then maybe go for stage wins. They're not, in other words, completely ruling out the not yet the GC, but maybe after today with 3 days to go they may have to.
Yeah, I haven't seen them being very synced over the last couple of days. There was always one of them stronger than the other. They rotated around also in the time trial, but I didn't see them to work together as a unit just yet. There was always a little bit of like disconnection or whatever it is, elastic. Yeah, exactly. So they weren't racing as close together as some of the other teams here. But again, like if they manage to get synced and race as they did before, they always contenders for a stage win.
Absolutely. At the front here, BH Coloma and Matt Beers now has gone to the front with the two red jerseys behind him. Matt and Keegan Swenson in here somewhere.
I hope so. Definitely hope so that he's in there as well. Again, you try. Once you know and you realize that the GC is not going to be something easy to achieve, because it's not just adding time to it, you're also running out of time. Like, we only have 3 more stages to go from today onwards, so you're running out of time. So you're going to try anything and everything possible, and you want to give it a shot. See, you go until you blow, right?
Yep.
That's sometimes the only way to approach a stage win, perhaps. And we'll see how, and hopefully Keegan is in there, and Matt driving the pace hard at the beginning, hopefully getting into the single track, then he can come down with the pace again. Those guys, they all have their tactics, they all have their game plan, and if you got it right, you get on the podium.
Absolutely. They're going through Vreemandsfontein Farm at the moment, one of South Africa's biggest almond orchards here. Dates back to the 17th century, as they are now right alongside the R44, the St. Achterpaal Road, beg your pardon, and Tristan Norkier, all focused there. There's Lucas Baum, yellow jersey there, but Beers, on the front, deciding he's going to take the racing on today is Matt Beers. He knows these trails so well. He won the National Marathon Championship on a course not dissimilar to a combination of the two they're riding today, so he knows it very well, and so do the pair behind him, and he's setting quite a wicked tempo for the time being and immediately taking on fuel. They're half an hour into the racing, and Beers taking on fuel for what will be a long day today. 3 hours 20 for the race winning time yesterday for the elite men. Similar, maybe a little bit quicker today. It's perhaps not quite as brutally hard as yesterday, and it's certainly, well, here's the hope that it's not going to be quite as hot today as well.
Yeah, but beautiful to see. As soon as Matt is at the front, no one actually tries to go another line or try to get to the front. Like, this guy can put a pace down like no other does. In those flat sections, look at this, like he splits out the bunch quite quickly, gets his gel in to make sure he can push this pace for another, most likely 10 kilometers or whatever. But no, it's incredible how strong he can be, and I really hope for Keegan that he is in that front bunch. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, difficult to see if he's in there. They're riding right into the rising sun now. He looks over his shoulder, Beers, hoping that he's there. You can see him, his mouth open there. He's just trying to take in that gel. Another look. There's the red jersey, the yellow jerseys. Liet is there. You can just catch a glimpse of the William Victoria team in there, but no sign yet of Keegan Swenson. Well, the hive of activity as the various batches start shuffling forward to the start under that arch and set off on their journey today. Halfway through the race, it's a difficult day this because you look back and we've done 4 days. You look forward, we've still got another 4 to go. So it does make it quite a psychological battle for all these riders today to try and get over the top. Nicole Weir and Janine Miller there from Bounce. They're the leaders in the Master Wims. They're looking very, very comfortable. Janine on the right-hand side there. There's where hydration packs nice and firm on their shoulders. That is the way to go to hydrate safely and securely all the way through the race here. So this batch heading off in around about 3 minutes time. The batches and the great grandmaster women is also setting out in here. Jenny Rongren and Martha Kukumur are our race leaders in that category. An hour and 41 minutes. They've got over Hannele Steyn and Lisa Zepek. So there is a name to conjure with. The last line is Hannele Steyn. She's still in and still going well with a very strong partner in Lisa Zepek, Anne Harrison and Jane Seggy also just behind them, 12 minutes behind them in third place in that Grandmaster Women. So you're asking what ages are these categories? Well, of course, the elite men's and women's categories. It's the professional licenses, the racing men and women. And then the open categories, 19 to 39 without a racing license. So pretty much anyone who's not got a racing license fits into that category. You and your partner, you are racing in the open category. Then the masters category from 40 to 49. That is masters men and women. They're in that racing for the ETT Masters blue jersey. The Grandmasters from 50 to 59, and the Great Grandmasters will be going from 60 onwards, anything from there. In fact, our oldest riders were 73, two riders from Switzerland riding at the age of 73, and you have to be turning 19 on the year of the race to be able to enter the race at the other end of the scale, the youngest riders.
Yeah, it's impressive to see the back markers, and that's something I love to do. Like when we stop here with the commentary, I walk around and I see all those people coming back to the finish line, and it's incredible. Like we sometimes so pleased and forget like the hassle some others are going through. I mean, we have the one person, the one man in there with the one leg, pushing through. It's incredible. Like and then seeing all those faces and pushing so hard and still coming back and having a smile. I must say, they can be so proud, every single person in this race. First for signing up, then pushing through and still having a smile in their face. And it's also the dynamic of this race, right? You always have a partner, wingman, wingwoman on your side. You're not alone. And if the team has an issue, then there's another team next to you. So it's such a great dynamic within this race, and it's very unique where amateurs can race against the pros at the front. You ride the same exact course. You can, yeah, it's just unique, so unique in so many ways.
So away they roll from the start line and head off on their 80-kilometer journey today. Weary legs, but well prepared and well recovered, hopefully, to get through another tough day, but a wonderful day of riding the trails here around Pal Mountain. They'll be going right into the cauldron again at the top of that mountain. It may cause some PTSD for some of them, because it is a memory of yesterday. That heat yesterday will come roaring back to them, but thankfully today won't be quite as hot for them all here, which is a really good thing. The race organization making a good call yesterday to stop the race at 2:30 yesterday afternoon. So back with our Aramex women's race. Alexis Skada on the front here. Her partner is Vera Losse. They're second overall on the general classification. And Rosa van Doorn, Buff Megamo just there as well. There is Vera Losse in the dark shorts and multicolour blue shirt and the orange jerseys. Just watching them. That's all they really need to do today, is just keep an eye on their closest rivals, and they are a long way back in terms of the general classification, 14 minutes, but anything can happen, as we saw yesterday with Annika Langfeld taking that nasty fall. Fortunately for her, she was all right and able to race on, but it could have been different. The red jerseys are there as well. Bianca Horn and Hayley Preen tucked in just behind the race leaders here, so nicely positioned as they make their way through the early sections here. Quite flat and fast this first section.
and then hopefully have some legs towards the end.
Any advice from Farmer Glenn today? I see he's here. He's your soigneur. He's your massage therapist. What's going on there? He sees that you are his boss.
Yeah. No, he's overexcited. That guy gets super excited. It's very cool to be on track on his side when we're racing, because you hear him from like 40 k's away. Chickies, how did he get you? Chickies there. Oh, shit. Naughty. He's right behind you.
We talk about partnerships, and certainly your dad and Farmer Glenn are hitting it off properly and having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think my dad was very excited for this partnership because of his relationship with Farmer Glenn. And they're very similar out en route, giving time splits, just appearing in the middle of nowhere like 5 times in about 1 kilometer. So, yeah.
Shout out to the South African public when they see the red jersey today.
Yeah, it's great getting all the support. We get lots of cheers for us, which is really, really cool.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
Sophia, good morning. The big question of the day, what are the earrings doing? What have you got there? Talk us through it.
Yeah, today we got milk and cookies. I think I got that right. Yeah, we're going to be out there for a sweet time today, you know, shorter stage in time, 3.5, 3:40, which it's always nice to go under 4 at the Epic.
Those first
Damn, some of these
5 to
girls.
10
Woo, woo,
minutes
woo.
are just chaos, aren't they?
Yeah, well, and then yesterday we started up a harder climb than I imagined. I saw it on the profile, but I didn't realize it was as hard as it actually was, so I regretted not warming up. But today we have about 20K to get sorted. Hopefully not too dusty, just because if it's too twisty and turny, that's when mistakes happen. So yeah, we're looking for a chill stage today.
Yesterday, so much happened. It was just crazy how much went on. A lot of crashing, a lot of changing on GC, moving up and down. Some of the women's teams going right back on the GC. It just shows that anything can happen.
100%, and I think like that's the name of this race. Whenever you least suspect it, you get hit hard. And yeah, I think for us, we really just need to watch the bodies, really watch the bikes, and just, you know, we have a nice little buffer on GC, and we just need to get through today and then see how the body responds, and then you're kind of closer and closer to that finish.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The thoughts and views of our leading riders in the women's, the Aramex women's category, as they snake through these wonderful vines on Landskroon and the various farms, Fynland as well, and they head out there. So just to contextualize the South Africans in that, those of you who are watching from afar not quite sure what's going on, the 2 young South Africans, Hayley Preen and Bianca Hall, racing in the red jerseys there. Farmer Glenn is Bianca Hall's father. Glenn Hall, who's done many of these Absa Cape Epics before and an endurance athlete of the highest order. And Mark Preen is Hayley's father, also an endurance athlete, multi-sport athlete, hard as nails, and out there supporting their riders now. So that's how that all fits in. As it is Skada and Lossa who are on the front in the Aramex women's race at the moment, between the vines. They've all been harvested, these vines, so the grapes are in the process of being turned into world-class wines as they turn between the trees here on the sandy tracks. And we saw a little bit earlier, you know, there's stop and starts and twists and turns.
Yeah, it's a huge yo-yo effect that creates when you have a track like this, like when it's flat, left and right, sandy things. It takes one rider to get off, and then the whole bunch behind it gets stuck, and then you have to like make up your way again. We saw Annika earlier. She couldn't get around the corner. She was one of the first ones, couldn't get around the corner, and immediately, like there's a traffic jam immediately afterwards, and then you have to catch up again. Yeah, but yeah, the positioning right now is very important.
Just have a look at what's in store for them today. They are down the bottom of the picture here, Fairview. You can see the start. They're riding around that area. They'll then do a lot of those farmlands, Landskroon, Fynland, and then across the St. Achterpaal Road, which is the road that runs all the way across to Paarl. They cross that and then head for the mountains. So that's when the business end of this race really gets underway. They'll go through the Taal Monument in the top of your picture there. That's the start of some big climbing, and then into the bowl, the cauldron in the middle here, the Britannia Rock View, beautiful views of the 3 major rocks that are part of this Paarl Rock, and there is a look at the profile. So the big climb up to the Taal Monument, it gets pretty spicy up at the top there. And then the cement tracks on the far side of the bowl, and then, well, basically from around about 60 kilometers, you are downhill all the way flying home. But those last few 10, 12 kilometers, again, just weaving in and out of the farmlands and some trails and bike parks. So some work to be done there.
Yeah, definitely. And also it's a long way to the first water point today. It's 41 kilometers all the way to the first water point. So that's also why quite a few of them are starting with a hydro pack today. You saw that again.
Yeah, quite a few got the hydration backpack on their shoulders to ensure that they get to it. And you know, the effects of cumulative effect of multiple days. You've just got to be on your hydration game.
And also yesterday, like, yes, you drink, but your body is not able to absorb. So yeah, it doesn't help to drink too much at once. So again, to make sure that your body is not getting more and more dehydrated. Also today, not as hot maybe as yesterday, but the hydration is just as important as it was.
With the men there, very briefly, the last images we had were of Matt Beers on the front of that group there, driving a fearsome pace on the front there. What's the idea behind that, Benno? I think you have some insight there.
Yeah, I got some insights from the team manager, from the specialized team manager, Mike Posthumus, and like I said, they all have their game plan. They all know what they need to do to get the best result. And at the moment, Matt is pushing hard at the front to stretch out the group a little bit, testing the conditions of Keegan as well, see if he found his legs, like we said as well. Sometimes you have a couple of bad days, but there will always be one of those good days that you got. And maybe that's what they do. They're testing it right away from the beginning. If Keegan feels well and if he's there into the first single track, then they know they have a chance. From there onwards, that's the next step for their game plan. And it was purely much just Matt driving it hard, getting rid of some of those other athletes, make the group a little bit smaller, and then, yeah, test themselves.
Valero Serrano and Ferreira on the front there for BH Coloma at the moment. So they've gone to the front again. A team who perhaps want to get something out of today. They've sort of had a yo-yoing Apsicate. They picked some good days and some not so good days. So the BH Coloma team in 9th place. They dropped a couple of places yesterday. The Spaniard and the Portuguese rider. And so they're into some single trails now and onto the lower slopes of the Paarl Mountain. The climbing begins.
Now the climbing begins. That's where you want to be. You want to be at the front. It's a lot. There's a lot of left and rights and the loose stuff. And again, mistakes are made, and then it just splits up the group. If it happens in the uphills, again, the effort you have to put in to just close the gaps, it's always huge. You do that once, it's one thing. If you have to do that 10 times over one climb, that's going to get you tired at the top. So it's also beautiful to see, like, that's the only place today where you're still going to be a little bit in the shade. You do have the gum trees at the bottom here. The higher up you get, the more exposed you're going to be as well.
I think we can connect with Stefan Sam out there on the Bulls Media e-bike. Stefan, good morning.
Whoa! That was just
enjoying yourself there. Oh, crash.
Ooh.
Little, yeah, Stefan, you didn't see that. You didn't go down. This is steep. This is steep. So, a little crash there for a rider.
I just got caught off guard. I'm with you now.
All right, Stefan, narrow trails there. The handlebars and the trees are in close proximity, and some roots.
Yes, absolutely. And there's also like little stumps sticking out. And if you're riding like tight behind another rider, you don't see it, and you can catch your handlebar or catch the crank or the pedal, and then you tomahawk like this. That's crazy. Hope he's alright. He's up again and just behind me.
Okay, didn't look too serious. I think it might have been one of the insect science riders going down there. What's the start been like there? We talked about the dust and the loose terrain and fearsome pace set early on. What's it been like, Stefan?
Yeah, to be honest, I just joined the race here at the single track, because otherwise it would have been difficult for me to get into the bunch. But I assume it was fast and dusty. They all looked like they were racing for 3 hours. And it's all lined up, and
you have an idea what it's like to be at this stage of the race and at the sharp end after 4 days, and the legs and the body. Some teams have talked conservative tactics today. Others might be chasing the stage win.
yeah, some will might. Yeah, so it was so hard yesterday. A lot of it easy. We have day 5. It's always like a decision day. Everybody's fatigued, and it's not an easy day. We have less climbing than yesterday. It's a little bit cooler, but still cool racing. And I think
Enjoying
I
the
have
trails.
to focus a little bit now.
Okay. We'll let Stefan focus a little bit, shall we? Because yep, another
thank you.
casualty.
Thank you.
That looks like Mark Pritson. Mark Pritsen's had an issue for Honeycomb 226s. He and Wessel Buerta on the move yesterday. They don't want to lose touch with this lead group now.
No, definitely not. And what Nino did the other day when he said he's going to make the handlebars a little bit more narrow for the TT, that is not just for the TT. This is where your handlebars need to be narrow. When Joris Reef and I did the Wind to Wales on the e-bikes, the first thing we did was cutting down our handlebars, and you can see that more and more. It's very different. At the World Cups you have more space, nothing is that tight. Here you're blasting through with like 30 k's an hour through those trees. You have very, again, like it seems like a wide open single track, but it's not, because there's those little stumps left and right. You like sometimes limited to like 10, 12, 15 centimeters of trail or perfect line through it, and that's sometimes near the trees. So the closer you can get to those trees, the easier it is to clear them with your handlebar, the faster and more momentum you can actually go through as well. So the narrow handlebars in sections like this, and even if it's just like the 10 millimeters on each side, makes a huge difference. That's like your tire at least 5 centimeters farther in, like your shoulder sometimes even scratch along the trees. It's insane, like the speed they're going through here, and you see on Stefan how much he has to work to stay with them. But this is fast. This is some of the best riding, mountain bike riding you can have, because the dynamics is there. You have to be so sharp. You have to be so focused not to make a mistake. And you can see, like I'm sure there's a big smile on all of them. Tough, very tough, because you have to keep your momentum and you have to sprint over those little bumps. But this is some good riding right there.
Fantastic trails. Diamante State, I think they're heading through now. And yeah, for those of you sitting at home thinking, but my handlebars are fine, I never hit a tree. Just think of the speed, and Benno's made that point now. The speed that these races are going at here, you have got no time to react. You are flat out, you're on the limit, you're pushing hard. You don't want to lose touch with the rider ahead of you, which is something that seems to be happening right now. These riders are starting to feel the intensity of the early pace and losing touch. They want to stay in contact. And this is Martin Stosek at the back here. Fabian Rabensteiner, Simon Stiebjan. And as we roll forward, we will see Matt Beers, Keegan Swenson, and Wessel Buerta, whose partner we saw a little bit earlier there, Mark Pritson, down the trail there. So that's a group that split off the back of this, the leaders here.
Yeah, we can't see the gap now in between, but it looks like it's quite a bit, not a lot, but again, like catching up in those single tracks to the front. And again, the farther forward you are, the more momentum you're gonna carry through all that stuff. And it's hard to make up your time.
Probably going to put a little power
this
down.
Is a nice big group right there at the front. I think it's like at least 4 or 5 teams all together. A bit of a gap to the others, not that much, maybe 15
start
to
around
20 seconds
250.
at most, but it does spread out. And it's that yo-yo effect that you have in a bunch like this on those trails that can tire you out. They're not too far away from the first hydro station. It's something that the amateur's going to use. It's the USN hydro station. Everything you need is there, but I doubt that
We'll see.
those guys will stop. The first pro tech feed zone with the tech stuff and the bottles that can be given by the teams is at 41 kilometers. So that's still quite a bit to go for those guys.
Yeah, this is a Diamante estate they're on at the moment. A beautiful estate on the low slopes of Powell Mountain here. And the early signs of the granite boulders they'll get to see in much larger form later on as they drop into more sensational single track riding here. So Gael Geg on the back of this with Lucas Baum just ahead of him, and we suspect that this is that lead group. And the Albert-led Speed Company team, well, as you heard, this might be a day where they'll play a holding game, just assess, and then see themselves racing hard for a stage win later in the week. Through the rocks, as I said, just on the ridge line here. Beautiful riding.
Going high up on the rocks, taking all the advantage you can get, using everything of the single track or the trails. And those rocks are grippy. That's the nice part. Those are very grippy rocks. You don't have to be afraid that you're going to slide away. It's always nice. Like
you didn't realize it was 110.
Changes and you haven't ridden there before. You get a little bit of a fright if you get like to a clean space like this. But those rocks are super grippy. So yeah, there's no need to be afraid.
Wow, it's littered with shattered rocks here. What a trail this is on Diamante Estate. Part of this Powell Trails network that has been built up over the last 10 years or so that has created such interest and incredible hard work by the Powell Trails people. Darren Herbst and his whole team have been working flat out on this project to get the trails into a state where they can be ridden by these world-class riders. Marco Hubert, Tristan Norkier, then the one half of the yellow jerseys, Willie Vittoria there, both the leading two teams there, Lucas Baum, Georg Egger. That's your lead group right now. So the Bulls Media e-bike tells us that there's a bit of a gap back to the next group.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, the guys are having a better day today, Lucas and Georg. They're right there at the front. It looks like they're very well synchronized. They ride in there, and yeah, they positioned themselves very well. So hopefully, and we'll see. They have a good day. That's the closest they got to the podium position right now. So we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, Bear-led Speed Company, Baum and Egger in their fourth Absicate Epic. Of course, they won it in their first attempt as relative unknowns. There's the USN hydration station, a quick handout, and off we go. As quick as you like. Marco Hubert, he'll have plenty cheering him on, both Tristan and he, a team in Buko Chemchamp that are based locally here. They'll have massive support there. There was high hopes yesterday and great excitement as they surged onto that lead group, but couldn't finish it off, finished third yesterday. Colombo, Prado, Avendetto, Schurter, and Baum and Egger. This is the lead group. Up a very, very steep ascent. Oh, down goes Lucas Baum. Not the easiest now. He's got to run that out. Traction is a problem here. Steve John has caught up, and this is the group next. They're not too far back, and Devat Alleman just waiting for his partner. Storsek, there is Mark Pritson, and you can see the pair of insecticides, Keegan Bontekoning and Arnaud de Toy. One of those went down quite hard in the forest.
Yeah, good to see that nothing happened. The crash definitely looked harder than maybe Samaras yesterday, but again, like if you're lucky enough and then you don't fall on something too hard or too close, you get away with it, and it's good to see that the two riders are still in the race.
You get an idea of how steep it is. Look, I mean, they are grinding their way up there.
Yeah, it's straight up the hill. It is open, but again, probably hard to overtake because everyone is going flat out. Also, the ones that can enjoy the single track the most, the ones that were at the front, maybe their heart rate is a little bit lower than the others. Behind, they're trying to catch up time within the single track. Single track riding is very, yeah, it can be tough as the climbs itself if you have to chase up to the others, you know. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, the front group is still together. Some of the others are catching up now.
Gael Geiger is just a little bit off the pace there. Look over the shoulder. There's a bit of a gap as they drop into the single track here.
It looks like Grabenstein is within this group now as well.
Yep, he and Stevie have made that junction cross to this group as, Egger at the back of it.
Yeah, split times from the USN Hydro points are through, and the first 8 teams are all together within 30 seconds. So yeah, it's all still very close together.
And that's the key. You want to stay in that lead group. Focus and attention on the trail here. Anything can happen, as we've seen already every single day on this Absa Cape Epic. A little rock, a slight misjudgment, a lapse of concentration, and it could be disastrous.
Yeah, good to see that Matt Beers and Keegan, they are in 6th position right now. So hopefully they also can keep this pace and stay with the group.
The tactic of Matt Beers on those open roads, dragging it out and bringing the pace along and hoping that Keegan Svensson can join him. He, unfortunately, has not been in his best form for the first 4 days. Can it come back, over these next 4 days?
It could be, definitely. Maybe Keegan was racing in the US just the week before the Cape Epic started. He only landed in South Africa on Tuesday. The race in the US was still, very cold race. Like it was like +3 degrees. And then coming into South Africa that late, your body takes a bit of time to adapt. And it's not sometimes just the fitness. It's like the everything else that you need to go through. The sleeping on the plane, maybe starting the Cape Epic a little bit tired and not having that punch right away from the beginning could be something, but that does not mean that he can't find his form during the Cape Epic. Those guys, they're used to long hours and the long events and the racing from the gravel scene. So no, there's nothing has been lost. Yes, GC, it's going to be hard to catch up 23 minutes. But for a stage win, if he finds his legs and his rhythm, anything is possible,
Yeah, he was racing the Valley of Tears race in the States, finished down in, I think, 11th in that race. Highly competitive racing that there is in the United States. Look at these trails, amazing trails, wow. You want to be riding these, and you can if you come and sign up and to get a board or get a pass to come and ride on the Paarl trails. You'll have the great privilege of riding these wonderful trails, and you can go to any one of the trailheads around this part of the world and join up. There's Laborie, there's Fairview, the Spuitsroute. You can go to Reebokskloof, Ridgeback Wines and get a permit and come and ride.
Yeah, it's very similar to what a ski pass is for many in Europe, right? Everyone is used to those. In Europe, you don't pay for hiking or any of that, but you do pay for the ski slopes. And I think the network we have in South Africa for biking is very similar to what you have in Europe for all the ski fans out there. So it's just fair enough that you contribute towards it, that you pay your trail permit, because it's definitely worth it. Like, the trails are well looked after. Even if they take a little bit of a hit by the Cape Epic riders going through, within a week or two, those trails are up and running again. They're well looked after, and then that's also why you should pay your money and your trail permit to continuously be able to look after the trails.
Yeah, a little prediction of some rain over the night and tomorrow, and that'll settle the trails and give the trail builders a chance to come and rehabilitate some of those trails. But make your way to Laborie Farm, which is on the outskirts of Paarl. They'll be actually heading there very shortly. Fairview, which is where this venue is. Specialized in Paarl, Reebokskloof, Spuitsroute, all trailheads where you can get yourself a permit and come and enjoy the riding here. So this is the next group about to leave the start at Fairview, and it is going to be another big day for all of these riders. The legs, the bodies feeling a bit of the pain and pressure that has been exerted on them. There's a rider looking at the front there, and I think that might well be Daniel Tenner from ChemChamp, who's a bit concerned. He's holding his partner's bike, so that's a bit of a worry, waiting for his partner to get there. So let's go to the start and hear from a couple of the riders ahead of the stage.
It was brutal, it was tough, but I think two epic spirits, the teamwork worked well. I think we dovetailed very well and we just managed everything, the heat and all the conditions, but it was a tough one.
Plans for today, we know it's going to be a little bit cooler. It's 80 Ks today, but they say the shorter stages are the ones that bite the most.
For sure. Just looking at the profile, I think we're going to climb most of the climbing within the first 60 odd Ks, so it's going to be tough. But yeah, we're going to literally try and just manage it today. Put some coins in the bank for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be seriously tough.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Fabian and Andre, I love the outfits. For fun, team for fun. You guys have really gone all out on the kit this year.
Yes, we did special for this race, and it's so funny.
How was yesterday? I mean, everyone knows it was hot, but how was it for you?
For me, I love it. I really love it. This kind of race with many mountains and single tracks. For me, was really nice.
Andre, new trails for you again today. How's it been racing here in Paarl?
I love it because we love those kind of single tracks, and we had I don't know, like 80% of single tracks yesterday. It was amazing. We loved too much. For me, in the beginner, the two steep climbs was a little bit harder, but we love it. We have been loved the whole experience we have been faced over here.
Well, good luck today and keep the fun. It's important to smile every single day.
Thank you very much.
Stefan and Emil from Frankfurt and Vrystaat, are these the real yellow jerseys? I mean, what Nino and them are wearing, are these the real ones?
Yeah, this is for the real guys that struggle. They get the trails nice and easy, cool weather and all that, and we have to really go and struggle through the day, you know. So, yeah, it's yellow.
Tell us,
this yellow is for the real men.
Tell us about Frankfurt. I've been through there a couple of times on the way to Clarence and Lesotho. Some of the best biltong, right?
Yeah, it's very nice there. Frankfurt is a really nice community, nice town to live in, and yeah, we absolutely enjoy it there. Yeah, it's very nice.
'n boodskap vir die mense daar?
Ja, dankie vir julle. Julle ondersteun ons kwaai Frankfurt en julle gebede en julle boodskappe wat ons kry elke dag dra ons deur. Thanks. Bye.
Well done, guys. Let's get these.
Well, start line, we've got kids on the streets of Paarl, and we've got the riders making their way through our twisting switchback climb here on this trail. Wonderful, wonderful riding and wonderful vibes here at the Absa Cape Epic.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see Nino and Filippo wearing that leopard outfit that would match their bike 100%. Seeing those two riding in a thing like that could be interesting. I like the yellow jersey on them too, but yeah, that leopard skin cycling kit together with the bike, outstanding.
Yeah, just one of our 67 mixed teams taking part here. There are the Masters men and Grandmasters. 206 Master men started the race, 125. These are teams, 125 Master, Grandmaster teams as well. Those are big, big categories in this race here. And this is our elite man. Now look at this trail network here. You've got to get in the front here, which is where the Absa African jersey leaders, Tristan Norkie and Marco Hubert, are. They are clearly have designs on winning this stage today. As you heard at the start, Nino Schurter and Filippo Colombo, not too worried about them in terms of general classification because they're some way off them, but they would really like to find their way onto the top step of the podium. There's at least
Beers.
Yeah, there's Beers and Svensson.
Yeah, they're not far off. Maybe 15 seconds between the two groups, maybe 20 the most. But yeah, it's maybe 15 seconds between the two groups.
Yeah, this is just incredible, the building of these trails, the network that has been laid out here and maintained. Yeah, the Hero Legacy project is part of this trail network where it's giving opportunities to people around the community to come and be part of the trails, both building and maintaining, and not just on the trails, but ancillary projects. Obviously, with the trailheads, you need people to be working at those various venues. And so they've built out opportunities for people to be involved in the trail network here, be it directly involved or through the Hero Legacy project with the Drakenstein municipality have been hugely involved as well. Giving riders the opportunity to ride. I mean, building those bridges, keeping them safe and sound, making sure that none of the planks are loose. It's all part of maintaining these trails.
Yeah, and there's another cross section where the fast riders come down the hill, the others are on the way up. It's a bit of a bike park here. You have all the different lines. And it actually leads into a nice coffee shop at the bottom.
Yes, this is heading towards the specialized shop, which is down here. And that's one of the trailheads. You can buy your permit and come and ride here. And if you have any issues with your bike, they'll sort that out as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a pump track that they're going to go through. So that's where pretty much every single photographer is going to be sitting there now, because that's probably one of the best jumps for Nino to throw another whip in there. So could be that that there's more photographers in that section than anywhere else.
And guess who's trying? Oopsie, there's an issue. So the red jerseys have missed a turning. And Marco Hubert, Tristan Nokia, just that's a costly mistake. Well, hopefully not too costly for the Imbuko Kemchamp pair. And yeah, just overshot a corner perhaps and just kept going. And he's had to make his way back, one of Marco or Tristan. So he'll have to just put the pedal down to get back in that group.
Yeah, now he finds himself in the back of the group. Luckily, I think Tristan and Marco, one of them is at the front. But that shows how quick it goes. And also, if you're the second rider, you need to keep an eye on those arrows. Because if you are the ones driving the pace at the front, it takes nothing to get lost. The front guy quickly losing the attention, checking down on the gears, whatever. And the other guy behind also not concentrating on the arrows, and you quickly overshoot one of the corners, because there's a lot of left and rights. It's not always the same trail all the way from the top to the bottom. Maybe normally it is, but they do have to cross over, and sometimes the arrows, they just point you off the trail for a little bit. You go on to a different section, and you cannot miss those sections. So you do need to be laser focused pretty much like the entire time.
Jesse Nixon is with us. Good morning, Jesse.
Morning.
How are things going out there? What's the start been like? I know you perhaps only joined them on this trail here. What are you seeing? A tough old trail, this.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. So there's little ups, little downs. There's quite a few routes. So a lot of riders are trying to make their way around the routes, not to get thrown, of course.
Now you are